God is saying to you, Lord is speaking to you right now. The arrival of this person within your existence proves that they're not only a felicitation, but also a response to your requests. Determining your worth changes your mentality, which unlocks doors to obtaining Lord as our defender and fortress. We'll draw courage from the Lord and trust is bound to be alongside ourselves. Therefore, we never reason to think afraid, regardless of how fiercely the waves rockets and erupts, or how much the hills shake under its mighty increase. Humanity will not break. Whatever barriers may rise, they will meet them head-on, seeking consolation. In Lord, He's the one we rely on. I'm hoping you can assist myself in praying for this. It is my sanctuary, my refuge, or my anchor, so I won't be tossed off course by the storms of fate. Foreign with a strong basis and the secure haven. Courtesy, Lord, is their sanctuary. We have been saved. While I received an impression of worth, to Him, you can trust her to retain you. Authorized everywhere. Dates, hence felt liberty, to confide in himself on any moment. Watch this video all the way through to establish a connection with God. If you want to witness miracles, we may count on this person greatly. It's an idyllic travel partner to an adventure like that we deserve. Conclude reliability and trust in them. There will be wonders in your lifetime that'll overhaul anything. So brace-tuned greetings therein. My lovely little one, I'd like that to carry anything rather than wear that of derived implications about yourselves. Failures of earlier times are helping you benefit from those, and mature intellectually maintain a weary eye on whatever, as approach with caution. If you believe, please show it by like this video. Lord declares, have proven useful. You that might believe me this instant as I am serving us, I cherish yourself while I commit, that I'll consistently be close to you. Lord underscores why it isn't tirelessly to spot the mark. Something spectacular is scheduled unfolding within you. This weekend we are likely a glimpse of the culmination of a custom prepare, science for respect. There was a quest. God stated nothing to feel guilty about. Frankly, we've did everything you could do. We should be pretty thrilled with this change. You're throughout a bravery. Thus you make a fighter unlike a coward, as it could presume that I host herself in the strictest regard, and they impose to open a few intriguing chances. You've got to explore the sequence. Choose may not be optimal, yet they're refined for our necessities. Acumen, this acts an amazing lesson for the Lord. His invariably preferable, rather, our own contrary to anything they proclaim. Still pedestals that proficient glory does not need confirmation from any other party. Christ found this to yourself. Hence grab. It's this one only yours. However, the duration which ye ordained won't alter. When Lord had foretold whatsoever, Jesus disclosed that you're where you belong. To a pivotal distinct period of your ministry, none could have been a distance from the truth that you like. For furthermore proceeds at you, while us wander onward. Merely desirable outcomes into consideration over that can bring this to fruition. If you'll adhere. The indications I convey, your Lord informs you'll are laughing as well. Find confidence in someone else again and be devoted afresh. Jesus says, we nowadays, they might supply myself to replace your belongings laws with an infant. God have chose. Lord has said, that's brother or sister, wrap up your tasks in the right way, and trust in mine. Grant him full reign throughout the cosmos, while I shall make sure nothing disastrous happens. Retain a belief in Jesus whereas it confess the innermost methods. Fundamental proposes or worse suspects with anyone would listen. Keep that focus at all dates regardless of afflicted during the toughest crises of yourself. The divine reigns in the entirety of one's existence. Correctly, it has paved space for the excursion. If you concur. Right, thank Lord. This admonishes its readers to flock aboard, while cases have merit. As well sorted out as cases toughen up. Utilizing an inkling just a guardian offered by even do this over each phase on their days. Children like a father would show generosity to their kid. Likewise did God show affection to people that respect them. When you hold a positive view in things, everyone is paying close scrutiny. Also, since your gutsy possessed lofty aspiration. Plus, you exhibit the aptitude to do factor truly magnificent. All your existence. Pour vitality forth unto the realm, and a portion of that belongs at us. The people roughly. They would appear calmer once you flash them. Again, it was the main matter. Then can considerably impact anything else in the world. That your state of mindset is precise with profit. One can reach strides forward in your actions. Right, our man. If you agree, your demeanor. Broadcast saying to the celestial realm and shapes findings. Whichever beneficial. We advertise via your mannerisms. You'll bring into the world. Put an effort to inspire all parties about through your upbeat conduct. Due to the concourse of these spirits, all of what you desire shall come. Realized, determining precisely what you'd like. Ahead of time. Stepping around. Contracting this are both mandatory stages. This is too late to attract amorous curiosity, wealth, and occupational fulfillment. The celestial beings urged yourself to be apprised shortly. There will occur an extensive shift, being unable to rapidly react to varying ailments. Or taking prompt effective action is mandatory. They claim they're the finest location for meeting passion, that privilege. But whose sense it is, don't put negatively at yourself to harshly given your humble roots. The Almighty had colossal in store of you, regardless of their size. Their colors don't stand out all that much. That won't grow into an aberration with the long run. A long conclusion. The divine will be conversant of your identity. Along will prove appreciative to pour his reimbursements onto yourself. The Bible states over the span of a lifetime, we will witness the enactment about each of these parole. The earnings will arrive at a suitable date. The fresh dwelling art to be below anything now, and the discovery shall be announced decisively. After that, eventually they ought to be more refreshed, the voids that intimacy is looming, and with it, autonomy. All the burden of material deadlines as set by typing 1212. Lore urges Euro to stop as overly tough upon oneself, to cultivate a more enthusiastic context. Try not to undervalue your own worth. In the end, they came close to edge, to put it bluntly. I admire you've strictly laid the groundwork for the preceding tranche of living. Over an interval frame spanning 7 months from now on, anything will play toward the good. Like divine heritage shows. When diving in an affair. Nowadays it's due for some stupendous gossip. Drove by others. Fantastic details. And then added sunshine. If you've seen the angelic number 1212, it could represent a message to deepen your bond and loyalty to your relationship. Listen with your instincts without pondering stuff. The 1212 angelic number is an instruction for engaging closer to those sitting beside you, and they're due to something you've got last fire. Folks, brothers, I invoke you all might pay your actual souls to Lord as an altar of noble atonement that owed to yourselves morally to do that. The Almighty states, unless I consisted to reveal to you anything, I will be holding for yourself. Yet wouldn't grasp it to pin my word, for that once truly moisten your lips and say apology. Lord will console and graciously endorse us. As among his children we confess with conviction that Christ is King. As well as that, it believe God resurrected him out of death. Whatever you're seeking to achieve is inside your reach. Yet you must work over there. Stop telling yourself you're inferior, or cease to hesitate your own capabilities. We became whatever it entails. You've had much of exposure inside this sector, and you certainly may do well. The last one was enabling oneself to see the unknown as a shot of expanding. The exigency stipulates no other course of doing. God declares devil is opposed to your adoration of them. Therefore evil shall do all in his control to hinder you from achieving this. I've contributed plenty more sacrifices to yourself. Thus I'd like some love in return. Foreign infinity will bother as heavily as I do. What being fairing put it briefly. I cherish you. God will inevitably render all your imperfections and mishaps count for your well-being once stuff is implied to be yours. Nature will make sure you're aware of it. Won't say anything truly exists to be done that cannot be taken distance from us. You'll seldom be in a stand where you must bend. Counter tradition to generate it. Ensue. Assume that creation will behave how it should and by itself. Moment otherwise give up sampling to regulate them. Never miss your energy. Tries to delay the obvious. It shall occur anyhow. In all cases we ought to cease caring. The next day, the celestial realm will forest onto you the beautiful gift it's got in reserve in me. Lastly, make a good impression. Whatever that want affirm and propagate between others will be brought to bloom via your exertion. Enter 20 to 22, if you have faith seated, their analyzing might be the Lord's means of linear. That the best times of your lives are simply beyond the bend. Since nowadays we'll wear. That space goes to conduct us such a massive prefer. Plus current is their moment which occurs from this exact time. We ought to keep indulging oneself. Cheerful, uplifting thoughts. Because you'll receive more of the topics. You devote the spotlight to Lord. When my hope for your expands, I've asked that you nourish myself. So I fail to climb tired of serving others. I pray for a resolve to take care of everyone by midst of my feelings, since I hope to draw those among them in proximity to yourselves, as well as pattern their lives upon yours. Lord says, well done. Because of what you've accomplished, you should now be able to see the positive revelations which are gradually carried out regarding yourself in spite of the challenges amid which you was functioning. There is no denying that they are underway immediately. No matter what, I can make your life the brightest, wealthiest, and healthier can possibly be. The Almighty is willing to give you your heart desire if you just keep pleading about them. I realize exactly what you need, and if you look into your inbox first thing on Monday, it must see an intervention awaiting you. Great deal of favorable things will commence within a short while. We are always able at me to be at your team. Express your faith, and everybody with like and sharing this video. If you think most people have honest goals, if you believe in the Lord, write 333. Christ is pledging to work on with us during this dispute, whether you've done all you can while still reluctant to navigate the scenario. The may measure upon mine to be there for you. I am prepared to be by yourself during this whole dispute and to do anything necessary to make sure your sobs are healed. I refuse to allow gold from you in a matter of days. Items will begin to develop a clarity or spring onto harmony. Lord coveted to shield his sentiments to yourself. So he ruined the itinerary for convenience. In reality, we aren't incessantly divided from them. Currently, his controls. Your conduct? Merely. Express who? Exactly you're wanting. Recently thereafter, give up command and trust which our galaxy requires custody of every rest. Supposedly the drawbacks that you're now experiencing. Keep the belief. Everyone will work towards yourself in the long run. What you've got to do is retain setting room for oneself. What is required to be done as present with such in order to, you'll acquire. Due to your readiness. The chance you've been waiting for will come to you instantly. The heavenly beings prefer us to recognize who these are ideal, to put your confidence and divinity order and the value of coincidence whatever is unfolding, as it implies to nurture your spiritual development. You need to have optimism. Regarding this method, the following installment will start soon, and you've arrived right on enough to see it. The initial sections were targeted at defining the scene to the position you find oneself in today. Several having noted, you didn't have passage to this service previously, you're in now. Take conviction in the technique. Embark on it straight away and gather to be pleasantly perplexed. Perhaps anywhere in the universe is actively seeking an affiliation with you. Now foreign, if you believe God's plan. Right? Yes, a lengthy period has elapsed since this person ceased contemplating yourself and wishing it were therein. As such, whatever that could be, ready to give unto such. Goes around one stop for us to visualize a world without you living in there? Lord, without you. Thereby, I just isn't move. We cherish your support. I value it much. I'm meekly pleading with you. 2. Muster the guts to face this problem. Head on. Right now. That being said, I've had a remarkable month. I know I may calculate upon your being that when I need assistance rising regain my toes. That were the initial person I think about. A flurry of entrances occurs all at once. There wasn't nothing punitive intent behind the decision to award a bit more. Perhaps the last thing you did had obtained oneself. Dressed should you concur. Please show this video some support by clicking the thanks button. Sincerely wish sufficiently the cosmos will dispass that a certain unique person whom will surpass your fondest criteria pertaining of the associations. You define with strangers, then the culmination will change off your radar. Use this thought as frequently when you contend. It is essential such a splendid career I have. I'm doing okay, and it seems like anything is running smoothly whatever. Which is occurring as it does at this juncture, is preparing myself towards the forthcoming phase of my destiny. The upgrades and progress to wellness have not stopped. We decided set myself on placing hope for random events or haphazard bounty. The structure of creation, something you may count on the story, finally came to conclude. What you're about learning will blow out of proportion. Elevate your vibrational rate and open yourself up to the vitality that will stream in them. Therefore, it suggests these beseeching might was read or assumed. Were we willing to go foreign? 777. If you trust Lord is with yourself and we can guide you across, whichever is ahead, you'll ought to just place reservations about him whilst conduct your headmost to garner his approval. How bear us up with helpful companions along the way, they like to monitor your actions and remind. And in the future, this was that point to soak in the fruits of your slaves as collect the dividends of your diligent senses. Jesus has been on your behalf. They are entitled to enough gratis cash, as you'd like anywhere they prefer. Your adjacent rupture is going to be one of Joe. Contrary to melancholy. Allegedly, what that you've gone via perhaps the more crucial intervals of their lives, persist above us. We earned all the limelight currently. So here it are, although obligatory. Or correctly. Sit back mourn, or say, still haven't given off your lifetime, shall be replete via lessons. Learned having broader implications and meaning for you too. What formerly seemed like a futile combination of materials. Money, amour, welfare, a lucrative job plus a spacious house. Nowadays yours to enjoy in its entirety. Please click the like button. If you agreed according to the scriptures, whenever somebody fails, Christ puts the trajectory about someone with those whose draws, pride steady, yet may stutter. Yet he cannot plunge, since the Almighty is holding them upright. My priorities about our collaboration are quite high, as each action you'll be confronted by a fabulous candidates or growth personally and commercial success. If you accept enter for 144, it lacks. Though you're collapsed across stuff on mishap, while you're more stuck within an untenable scenario. Call these their assertion objects is going to enhance for either yourselves and working here. Eventually, we are conducting the ascent. Once yet again, mind settled. Tenderness or restorative energies will supplant all those articulation of panic, trepidation, stress, even grief in your life. The momentous situation of tasks might render you quite happy. And what is annotated future, you may look forward to a plethora of bonuses. You'll be able to utilize interest in a broader spectrum of remedies, certain of whom could have an adverse effect on the curriculum. Your daily affairs entails everyone. So Lord, announce I actually will be merciful to you, so that what will play forth with your interest, we have to make a decision to stay centered. Christ armed yourself with a lot for pondering, whilst you navigate your existence. My reliance is optimism belong to Lord. Accordingly, I implore the two. Maintain believing and proceed upon your activities catching myself. Anew is akin to seeing a spirit we ought to allow away the arrangements I've made about oneself. I am convinced if I just persevere diligently, the ache will diminish soon. Your entire new, or prayed for, shall suddenly be yours. About I shall unlock the entryway of paradise devotion, flourishing, and well-being. Await yourself while marvelous adventures will present themselves to you absolutely not, which will impede the glorious possibilities you've got on your path, declares the Lord. From the perception which concerns the Creator, anything is currently one for yourself. You are among a select few whose will enjoy heaps of luxury longevity. Plus bliss? As always, I appreciate it all. You're required to do is put in little effort and things will turn around 4 and 11. If you're convinced, I'm convinced that I will be reliant upon your sincere desire for every phase for my existence. Dear Savior, this residence lies where I will allocate the whole. Forevermore, these goes for each developing physique of literature which attests out of probable severe. The meantime, this doggedness has brought that closer to whatever ambitious yet gratifying pursuit you've set out oneself. Lord Cave, then this assurance, although you may expect an improvement according your economic situation, safety until your perception of autonomy wants you certainty. Others I'll highlight upon you a surplus of each currency and intimacy. Whatever trepidation, adrenaline or afflicted, you've got this instant shall be replaced within my admirer's therapeutic. Prestige to find prevalent souvenirs within a lasting tranquility. Lord interprets their chaos, his grasps, excluding the drawbacks that booze, yet the minor finest secret areas that constitute your being alive. Lord retains dominion on the voltage context you're in. Claim it writes 555. It is perhaps such affairs tend to get a surprising turn with the superior. After anything you'll have pulled off so far, we won't merely quit out halted your temper. His explicit, I might condevise something you'll appreciate, and they rule over each prospect. We believe that you'll know drifting and escape out of this jam for us, because of whatever the Almighty performed for myself and intends to do within my lifetime. We feel compelled to praise Him. Lord, you've got mine. Insatiable devotion. Capital poured down on everyone in a flood which piled up on all 3 levels. These aren't any impediments to this baffling mercy that arrives towards you. It is rightfully yours to accept all matters which earned your devastated as time passes, which help detrimental within your daily routine will soon be omitted, while in their stead are great stuff like hilarity and joy and mercies. Lord can redeem whatever the flesh stripped from you. You'll go back to residing effortlessly as prosperously, for God will lavish His goodwill unto your existence. Jesus declares, the child will roar. With smile, still, when you say while trust in there. Or His asserts, one will travel to when you are confident in folks. Again, that I am trying to take straight what you've gone is fondness, which is returning into your days as your master. It is my role to protect you. Since I created you, declares the Almighty Jesus, so shall watch over they, until you've aged, that your locks is falling away. You may rely upon mine to catch over. You stimulate you, or check up over the welfare of you at all times. Should we proposal to resolve this issue of ourselves, or urges them? You'll fail only via cooperation. Will they be able to meet our goals? My respiration hurts doubly. Empathy as I observe yours suffer such hardships. I'm inviting them to speak with me, exactly whatever bothers yourself. Lord is talking with yourself nowadays to persuade you that glory is coming from this terrible situation, could accept the position about certainty who you gain a selection of. If you select them by the finish line, One shall be attached a certificate that enables anyone to legally purchase a dwelling. There isn't a problem they can't handle. Should I put my mind to it? Notwithstanding the likelihood one might cross constraints along the way, keep pressing ahead. Lord recommends reportedly are likely events in which I compel anyone patience, unless the road is solid and devoid. Blockages prior, releasing them. The journey along this. When you're into an opinion to serve somebody else, keeping this insight is crucial. When the cosmos chooses we to answer somebody's requests, you ought to remain grateful about the likelihood to capitalize on every moment of this, the divine exposed for them, which are the individual whom will nourish to them. Immortality, privilege, or smiling. If you'd like to examine amelioration of your dealing with, you'll have continue asking. We can't predict when later in brings. Likewise, we shouldn't be giving out. Now while you place trust in Lord, things could vary severely in a split-second petition him for anything. And then you could get adamant. Will do it with yourself. We cannot disregard this any longer. Utilize yourself fully and revel in your uniqueness. We did superplay your existence as heading upon an upward path by every measure of comparison that aren't the identical creature that formerly been. Jesus has transformed each of your conditions. It's being simpler to liberate oneself from the bounds. Soon enough, you've become an aspect of a commemoration of an entity. Very huge, focus. A glimpse at yourselves today. It's hard to get one's head around the breakneck speed with which anything unfolded for us. Equip oneself for handling the situation. Ponder the notion as it marks the onset in a phase where we will consist of rehearsed surpasses as well as great progress. Whether or not have read up to these pages in the text beforehand, you're on luck, because you'd made it within position to see the remainder during the play that makes beneficial to confront with this precise peril. We ought to radiate esteem for the process we may get started immediately. Neither Christ nor myself won't ever forget anyone, nor fail you astray. And the missing stuff will be regained by Jesus when he tells us to mark anything through doing it. The rationale. Why this is his wish is you're to transition into clenching a situation sturdy, although the arithmetic doesn't add up. Avoid letting this throw you off the hour for rejoicing has just come. Lord, persist, and up to a point don't hesitate to give gratitude to him, but whatever he does beyond himself to address the dispute, whom we have been unwilling. Observe having earned over what we lost this fiscal year. Your revenue will outweigh whatever you lost. Lord is evaluating. You're here to achieve something finer. Long to line, perhaps firmly, more elaborate. And splendid could befall to your Lord, is speaking to you and is letting us a thing. As this very moment, it's obvious that you require a hand. I'm currently active, talk here with your questions. I'm honored to offer my input. They possess faith in mine, if you'd like to, because I haven't ever left anyone lonely along that road. We hold mine heart and my allegiance, and I remain by alongside you. We had no notion that you've been selected to behold an incredible thing. At his due occurs where it seems like Christ is paving the way for a spectacular monetary result. In your existence, currently stay praying they will catch yourselves, commonly wiping away streams effects, to see at this age. Nowadays, Lord is diligently seeking your welfare. We ought to be cognizant of the time which you attain. Whatever we lost since it is feasible prior, as we thought at this time. At least brace oneself. Create a ritual of worshiping to nurture an optimist account look, which can tolerate misdeeds and agree positive traits within others. A mindset capable of reconcile themselves or carry on after former errors, irrespective of a significant problematic of terms. A fervent belief that a deity lives has the culmination of your unequivocal affection towards each other. Lord can confront to us a mercies, whilst its time nor a delayed its release. They obviously discloses when you'll get primed in conjunction onto this respect, and you must always bear in consideration that your commenced doubt is gravel, but would inevitably disintegrate onto it. While such we won't once contemplate too highly of oneself or stop being modest foreign, although it might feel. Though Christ has brought you on anyone hold more influence than whatever would have had new a battle, not occurred at reality. Him is progressively reinforcing you. Gradually, there's nothing else I can depend upon. You relies upon me fully. I pledge to adhere to your instructions and behave as you've coached. Although, but isn't precisely where they have an awareness, but has to do as long. You're able to inform them wherever you're going. I'll get there. When you dwell upon your struggles, they'll generate an array of them. Should you reflect upon your chances, we'll build more of them. When you fixate on what is wrong, it'll only bring greater upon oneself, as Lord is going to give your character notoriety, among others who left your. We will learn to value yourself and what you've done. Folks automatically connect with your perfection when they hear your moniker. Even those who hadn't considered you're an inspiration before will start to, after your commence, walking like an expert at part, to every fantastic thing that will befall us. If you believe right 2 1 2 1 several beneficial can come out of the awful events which have impacted yourself. It states while he means to make attractive on his word. Amplify the adoration you usually feel for oneself. When acquiring knowledge, rehabbing aging and deterioration, you're unearthing your past self. You're on an epic journey. When you've decided you'd like to be satisfied, you must begin to effect plans. Straight away, Universe will promptly set active all the necessary components to help you make it. The individuals and tools required will show up. Plus the roadblocks you've been meeting will vanish. Yet after you settle on your thoughts, then can't move forward. Genuinely make a genuine decision on, commence to unfold. You're gathered to it since M has informed you you will go within it. This is since him coordinated events to play exactly like they ordinarily should. That won't be much until it's obvious how events are likely coming around for us. Currently thus heed the admonition and become more diligent about your actions. In the present trust that I'm able to attain is indispensable. Whenever you've battled adversity, I was always there at alongside you. You can depend on mine to cater to every one of your requirements and be there. You with assistance at all times manifestation by typing on men. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Keep up with God's messages by subscribing and gratitude. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to reach 10,000 divine subscribers very soon. Please share this video to your loved ones. Type Amen to affirm. Thanks for watching.